down to the surface. It won't be anything sudden, just like a leaf drifting gently out of the tree, back down to the surface. And as you come back down to the surface, I want you to tell me the very first thing you see down there below you, or the very first impression that you have as you come back down to the surface. And as you come back down to the surface, tell me, what is your first impression? What do you see down there below you?
We want to welcome you to the 11th frequency and level of the Orion Council.
Very good.
We are here this evening to assist you in your quest. You can call us Maya and we will communicate with you. We are so pleased to see that you found back and doing this work together again. That pleases us very much, because it's going to be so more important in the future.
Thank you, Myra. And I am happy to be a part of this. And we were taking a break, and I think it was a good thing. But we are back and we are ready, and we are so appreciative that you are here with us today.
You are so much welcome.
We had a few questions to ask, and we had questions for Lars, and we wanted to get those questions out of the way first. Is it possible to do so?
He has already asked that question, so you are welcome to express it verbally also.
Very good. The first question that we had for Lars was, he had a desire to know, why was he chosen to receive the mathematics and the quantum technology, because he doesn't have a huge history with that type of information. And
On the contrary, he has a lot of experience in that area, but he's for the moment not remembering that. But for every session we have with him, he is going to wake up more and more to be able to reveal his earlier knowledge about these items.
Very good. That's what I was thinking whenever he asked me. And I'm very happy that that was the same. Um,
It's his insecurity in himself expressing that questions. He had this because he had earlier experience on being questioned about his part in this area, and he's little worried about getting criticized, but we're helping him and boosting him in this in every way we can.
Excellent, excellent. Um, he also had he we discussed this beforehand about how you were raising his vibration, and I gave him an explanation. But if we could hear it from you, that would be
We
excellent.
don't raise it, he does it himself. We just make the path clear for him, how to climb through the different frequency. It's so easy when you understand you can be in and out of a frequency in a blink of an eye. And
Very,
also, we want to point out for you that that's the way we travel also. We travel by the thought, not always by craft. The thought is much more faster than any craft in any frequency. You can think yourself anywhere in the universe in a blink of an eye also, and then you are there.
Very good and understood. Um, there, um, one more question, personal question he had was about his mom. He hadn't had an opportunity to connect with his mom in his meditation, and he was wondering if it was possible that if her energy could come forward, or her higher self, and have a communication with him.
Her energy is with him all the time, but she is still adapting to this new environment where she is being for the moment. And she still needs some time to resonate with that environment. And she's getting help with this, and as soon she is settling down in this, she will be able to communicate directly with her son.
Ah, very good. Very, very good. And so, if there's anything personal at this time right now that you could uh, relate to Lars in this moment, that would help him with everything that he's been receiving, and anything that you know that he may have and he's not even thinking about, questions that he may have, that would be very much appreciated as well.
We are aware of some worry he's carrying around, and we will help him with this, and he's getting messaging all the time that will help him to get rid of that lack of confidence and his imagination that he's not good enough. He's a very high being that's been involved with this so many times, but this time on earth has also limited his way to connect. But that will go away soon.
It's quite the challenge to physically incarnate on the planet Earth in this time, would you say?
It's definitely so, yes.
Very good. Thank you. We appreciate that. Uh, and what about Hank? You know, we've been. How are you and I connected in any way whatsoever, or my higher self? I believe you may have mentioned this before.
You and we are in different council, as you would like to call them, working together in many different areas. And you have also volunteered to do this many times before, and you're doing a great job with that.
You mentioned when you first acknowledged us. I didn't get that part on the video, but that's absolutely fine. You know, we always tape these sessions, that you were happy that he and I were back together doing this important work. We have been under the impression, or Hank has, I've been under the impression that there were outside forces possibly interfering or manipulating uh, myself, and possibly even Lars. Is that possible in the scenario that we just encountered? And we'll go into more depth later.
There is a lot of things going on right now because there are a big raise in the frequency on your planet, and a lot of things happening at the same time. There's a lot of fear mongering. There's a lot of dark energy they're trying to get through. And You are all affected with this, not always directly, but you have contact with others, you have contact with your thought pattern, that your mind playing tricks on you also. But this is going to be lifted off you, and that it will no longer have any effect in your lives. You are already now seeing more clearly and understand what is the truth, what is the fear talking.
Understood. Thank you very much. Is it possible when we do these particular type of sessions that a negative voice would be able to come in and influence what uh, you are saying or what we are receiving?
No one can break into your frequency without you allowing it to do so, and no one can touch you when you're communicating in this way. So you have no fear. Have no fear in that, because that's not possible.
Ah, very good. I didn't think that it was. Now, one thing that's being said, and you probably know we discussed this at length before we began. We were discussing, they call this voice of God technology. They're saying that there's this technology that they are using against the channelers on the planet to instill and manipulate the messages that are coming through. Is there a technology that is capable of doing such a thing?
No, that's not the case. They are trying to map everything that's going on, and it's usually the military forces doing that and trying to manipulate with different things, but they are not so successful in that. They can manipulate your technology, your computers, your radios, and your gadgets you have around you, but not your mind. Not when you are that enlightened that you are now. They can reach for a more dense frequency that can reach out for them and influence them, and them then influence many others. So they try to make a chart over how this works, but I have no really a clue what's going on. They're just guessing.
So, but I'm speaking in particular about uh, there's a gentleman, his name is Corey Good, and the other gentleman's name is David Wilcock. And Corey has presented to David in a internet program that they do called Cosmic Disclosure, and they say that they have a technology, like I said, called the Voice of God, and that this Voice of God is interrupting or putting thoughts into channelers' minds and manipulating their messages. And I know you answered, but I want to make it very clear. I'm not speaking about myself or Lars anymore. I'm speaking about, is there a such thing as this voice of God technology, and has it been used to manipulate other channelers with the messages that they're receiving? And
No, the voice of God is within your all, but there is no technology like a beam gun or something like that that can change your knowledge, your insight, or your frequency. They have tried to develop a lot of different technology, and also they have help from different ET entities in the past to develop technology, but they will not work in the way they would like it to do, and they are not able to reach out to everyone that is going to go to a higher frequency in this timeline. It's not possible for them to reach all of you.
Very good. I did not think so. As soon as the moment that I heard it, I was like, that just doesn't sound correct. They said also that there was technology that they were using that was connected to every single person on the planet, and that they were monitoring everyone, and especially the ground crew and light workers, and that they were influencing them. And I just was thinking, man, it was sure would take a whole lot of people to be able to be monitoring something like that. But that may be with my limited imagination. But you say that is false.
We think were presented to a lot of different technology that they imagine could have different impact, but that's not the case. The military, or the black ops you like to call it, use different methods to try to penetrate what's going on. They often use this high microwave, to look into a building, but they cannot look into your mind, and they cannot not look into your intention and feelings. That's not possible for them.
Very good. Another, now it just comes to mind, and I'm really happy that we're having this conversation. They said that people, and I don't know if this, I believe this may be misinformation as well, that people are channeling and they are receiving information from things that have happened in our linear experience, what we would call the past, and things that have happened on other planets in the past and in other dimensions. Is that correct as well?
We,
Or
we are aware there is many theories about the past and the future, and we are aware of these messages going out, but we won't say that they are trying to mislead. They are assured that that is the case when they put this forward. But sometimes they have been misled in their information, and they talk before they think, and that is never a good thing. And often is the own person's fear that is hindering to see clear of what really going on with themselves or with the surrounding around them.
understood. Thank you very much. This is very enlightening information, and we appreciate it tremendous. And now, another question that we had to ask about, we'd asked this question before, but we're going to ask it again, and our communication seems very clear. We spoke about breakaway civilizations. Breakaway civilizations, by the definition of what's being said, are civilizations that are here on the planet that have rose, like Atlantis and Lemuria, and those type of civilizations that have removed themselves from the mainstream and have taken refuge underground and, as we were told before, underwater. Are there breakaway civilizations of earthlings that have raised their vibration or become to such high level of technology to where they are not dependent upon the surface population in any way, and they're keeping themselves disconnected from us or monitoring us and maybe manipulating us, saying that they are extraterrestrials? We have been told that in the Corey Good story on cosmic disclosure as well.
We cannot see a hidden society that are in that direction. We know that a lot of ancient knowledge is still kept in secret, and we can also say that it's a part of your society They still want to be in power, and now feeling they losing their power to control, and they are trying to use that knowledge from before, from ancient time, to stay in control and in power of your planet. But there is no hidden society, but there are a group of people that have on their self decided to isolate them from the rest of society in a different you can say they try to isolate them, not to be so influenced from bad media, bad information, because they want to stay out of that, to be able to concentrate on their missions. So in a way, there are people isolated, but self-isolated, because they decided to, but no hidden society anywhere.
Exactly. They call them breakaway civilizations. That's the adjective that they've given themselves, the name of the groups of people that have isolated themselves. And they say they've isolated themselves deep in the ground
No,
and
that's
away
not the
from.
fact. That's not so. They isolated within themselves in smaller groups, and no hidden society anywhere on the earth. There is not possible, because we are watching, and the blue beings you often talk about are controlling or overseeing what is happening here. And not only on your planet, the whole solar system is under surveillance from a very high knowledge frequency.
So, is this what you would call mixing the truth with lies? There's no other word.
Mixing truth with misdeceptions.
Well, misdeceptions. Okay, very good. Okay, so we were told in those sessions with Corey Good that the hidden or the breakaway civilizations uh, disguised themselves or lied or uh, misrepresented themselves, saying that they were extraterrestrials, so that the surface population of the planet would not be looking for them underground and still be looking into space for them when they would arrive and do whatever they were doing to you know so all of this is basically I call it
Misunderstandings and misdeception, and they are afraid. There are also a lot going on now. They're talking that aliens is coming to take over Earth. If they wanted, the entities from outside Earth wanted to do that, they could have done that 1,000 years ago, and they have no attention in that direction. All the entities that are here now is here for help, and there is no higher frequency that use force or military force to influence anyone, because there is not that kind of feelings and perception in them. They have passed these violent periods of war and come to the understanding that there is no winner in a war, there's just losers. And if they would like to do this on your planet, they should already done it, and they are not able to, and there is not that kind of force out there.
Oh, very good. Very, very interesting. And I would almost say controversial information, because there are so many channelers literally who are saying, "Oh, everything that these gentlemen are saying is correct," and
You only
it's
need to ask yourself one question. You only need to ask yourself, why would the purpose be with this? If you can find any purpose that resonates with any rational thought, you are welcome to express it, but you will not find that if you just think about it. What would the purpose be with the hidden society and the aliens coming now, this linear time, to take over your planet, when they could do that for so many thousand years ago if they wanted to?
that's understood. Well, what they're saying now, like I said, truth mixed with lies, because they've been speaking about the blue. What they're calling them are the avian and the blue spears. Hey, they've been speaking about them, and I've seen them on my videos, the blue spears that have come through, and I've had communications via this way in my QHHT sessions where they said that I was connected with them, and so, but not to just mention that I'm being connected with them, but that, like I say, truth mixed with lies, because they said that they had been influencing the planet. And so I have another question that has to do with this whole extraterrestrials on the planet working behind the scenes with our governments. They said they were the Draco and some mantis and the Greys, and I know we've gone into a deep discussion about the Greys.
Yes,
So are the Dracos? They say now. You said before in a session that they had been deported off the planet.
yes.
Well, what they're saying is that they're on bases on the moon, and bases on Mars and throughout the solar system. That these Dracos were here, and they call them a royal Dracos, a white dragon royal Dracos, who are behind the elites on the planet, and that have given them technology. What is the truth in any of that?
There is ancient bases on the moon, but they are long time gone. And the only entities that has encountered with your elite and your military are the Greys. The small Greys that are like a machine and not a soulful entities. They are just doing what they think is good for them. Their purpose is try to understand how the soul of a human being works and how it comes that we have this ability that you have with your soul that is ever forever living.
Understood. So when they're speaking about the Dracos and all of that, that is then still misinformation, or
They are
it,
gone.
they're gone.
Yes.
They were here at one point, though. Is that correct?
There have been many different entities on this planet before.
Okay. And did they influence the human race with DNA tampering?
The Greys tried to, just to get a hybrid where they thought they could have a soul to isolate and understand. They don't understand how this is energy coming from the God source, from the creation source. So they try to understand that, and that was the purpose of getting involved with people from the first time then connected the elite and the military. And it's
Understood.
happened many years ago. We can say it started in the year of 1933.
Understood. So this whole Draco thing is just um, a fear tactic?
You are right in the word of fear. It's
Very
not a
good.
tactic. They think that's the truth, but it's not.
So, artificial intelligence, they're saying that there's an artificial intelligence that is running or the mastermind behind this